Hello everyone, my name is Karan Mashru. Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to look at the solution of the problem, that is smallest window containing 0, 1 and 2. First of all, let us start by understanding the question. What does question say? Given a string S consisting of the characters 0, 1 and 2, your task is to find the length of the smallest substring of S that contains all three characters 0, 1 and 2. If no such substring exists, return -1. So basically we are given a string which has only the characters 0, 1 and 2, and we need to return the smallest length substring such that, or the smallest length of the substring such that in that substring 0, 1 and 2 all three are present. Okay, and if no such substring exists, then we will return -1. Okay, so for example, if I look here, the first substring of size 3, 0, 1 and 2, this contains all the three characters, so answer is 3. Obviously the first four characters also contain 0, 1 and 2, but I need to return the smallest length substring, so the answer is 3. Here there is no substring possible which has all 0, 1 and 2, so the answer is -1. Complete the function smallest substring which takes the string S as input and returns the length of the smallest substring of string S that contains all three characters 0, 1 and 2. Expected time complexity is length of string and expected auxiliary space is constant, and the constraints are given here. So if we think about solving this problem, then see, what we need is, we need to find the smallest length of any substring, smallest length of substring such that this substring contains all the three characters 0, 1 and 2. Okay, now see, what can be the brute force approach? The brute force approach can be, I can basically use two for loops to generate all the possible substrings, and for all of them I'll maintain the count of zeros 1 and 2. And for every substring, whenever the count of zeros 1 and 2, all three of them are greater than equal to 1. Okay, so basically 0 variable will, this is a variable, this is a variable, and this is a variable, and they will represent, this will represent number of zeros in that substring, this will represent number of ones in that substring, and this will represent number of twos in that substring. And for every substring, when all these three values are greater than equal to 1, means all of three are present, at that time I will compare that string length with my answer variable and I'll find the minimum possible length substring. But that will go at least in big O of n square time, right? Because we are checking it for all substrings. So now we need to think of something more efficient. So what we can do here is, basically we can start from here and keep increasing the size of the substring until we do not have all the three characters. Once we have all the three characters, we can start decreasing the size of the substring from the left hand side until there are all the three characters. Again, when all the three characters are not present, we will stop and again increase the size of the substring. In this way, we will get all once we have got a substring which contains all three characters, then we start removing the characters from the left hand side, so we get smaller length substring which also contains all three characters, right? And if there are not all three characters 0, 1 and 2, then we'll increase the substring, right? So we'll understand with this example. Okay, and initially I'll mark answer as -1, so that if there is no substring which contains all three of them, I can return this answer as -1. Okay, and initially all these three values will be 0. Okay, so let's say my L is also here and R is also here, pointing to this index. So this is 0, right? So at every step I'll increment my substring size by 1. Okay, so at every step my R will go here, 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 and so on. So I'll include this. Okay, so the count of 0 will become 1. Now is the count of all three of them greater than equal to 1? No. So now count this also. So my R will come here now. Okay, so now this is 1, so the count of 1 will become 1. Again, all three of them are not present, so my R will increase. Okay, so I'll say that take R here. Now zeros count will increase, so the number of zeros will become 2. Again, all three are not present, so my R will come here, that is 1, so my count of 1 will become 2. Now again, all three are not present, so my R will come here and my count of 2 will become 1. Now all three are present. So what I will do, I will keep decreasing the size of this substring. This is my present substring. Okay, my R is here and my L is here. Okay, so I will keep decreasing the size of this substring from the left until all three characters are present, and at every step before decreasing the size, I will compare this string length with my answer, because all three characters are present. So what is the length here? R minus L plus 1, and here it will be 5. So my answer is initially -1. So I will say my answer is equals to 5. Now I will increment L. So I'll increment L here and I will decrease this count. So the number of zeros will become how much? 1. Still all three characters are present, but the length of the substring is 4. So my answer will become 4. Again my L will come here. So the count of 1 will decrease because now we are considering only this much substring. So count of 1 will decrease. Okay, so this will become 1. But still all three characters are present. All three counts are greater than equal to 1. The length of this substring is 3. So now my answer will become 3. Again I will increment L. So my L will come here and now the count of zeros will become 0 because now I am considering only this substring. But now since all three are not present, so we'll not compare it with my answer string, and now we'll increment the substring from right hand side. Okay, so at present I have 0 1 0 1 2 2 1 2 1 0, and this is the substring. Okay, this is my L and this is my R. Now increment R. So count of 2 will increment, but all three are not present. Again increment R. Count of 1 will increment, but all three are not present. Again increment R. Count of 2 will increase, but again all three are not present. Increment R. Count of 1 will increase, but again all three are not present. Then my R will come here, right? And now since the count of 0 will become 1, and since all three are present, I will compare this string length with my answer. What is this substring length? 7. Is 7 less than 3? No. So my answer will remain 3 only. But now again I'll start decreasing the array from left hand side, right? So my L will come here. So count of 1 will reduce. But the length is 6. Okay, so my answer will remain 3 only. Then my L will come here. So again count of 2 will reduce, right? I need to decrease this count. Okay, so this will become 2. Again my L will come here. So count of 2 will again decrease. Still it has all three characters, but the length of this substring is 4, whereas my answer is 3. Again L will increment, so count of 1 will reduce, so this will become 1. Again all three characters are present, but length of this substring is 3, which is same as answer. Again L will increment, so now count of 2 will reduce, so now it will become 0, right? So now all three characters are not present, so I'll again increment R. So when I increment R will become N, and hence we will break the for loop, and hence my answer is 3. What is the time complexity? The time complexity here will be big O of N, because basically we are using two for loops, one with the help of R and one with the help of L. Now let's look at its actual implementation. Okay, so if we look at the actual implementation, so first of all, count of 1, 2 and 0 I have made 0, and L and R are 0, and at every step I am taking one character from the rth index, right? So if R is if it is 0, increment 0 count. If 1, increment 1 count. Else increment 2 count. Until all three are greater than equal to 1, first of all update the answer variable. So if answer is -1, update the answer. Else answer equal to minimum of answer comma this substring length. And now I am incrementing L to L plus 1. So Lth character count will decrease. So if S of L is 0, then decrement 0 count. If S of L is 1, decrement 1 count, and else decrement 2 count and increment my L. And this while loop will run until all three are present. Okay, and in this way we'll get the smallest length substring possible stored in my answer variable, and finally I'll return my answer variable. And since we are not using any new array, the auxiliary space will be constant. Now let's submit this code. Okay, so we have solved this question successfully. I hope you have understood the solution completely. Thank you.